For some reason, the highest viewed videos on this channel are the ones with crazy Dr. Dino Kent Hovind. And yet, those are also the videos where you, dear viewer, cannot stand to listen to him. And understandably so. So, to make this whack an atheist easier to take, I found a suitable fix. Stick around for a slightly less annoying Kent trying to take on renegade science teacher Forrest Valkai. Again. Hello, I'm the Skeptic, the British floating circle that watches people make extraordinary claims, and then I explain why I don't accept what they're saying. He's nobody's favourite, the absolute whacker, Dr. Kent Hovind. The crazy creationist that thinks he whacks atheists so hard that they hopefully start to believe in a god or something. Now, I know he annoys a lot of folks because of his voice, but hopefully putting his voice through a voice changer makes him slightly more bearable. Well, yeah, I highly doubt it. But today, he's re-whacking Biologist creator friend and renegade science teacher legend, Forrest Valkai. However, before Kent plugs his ears and says, "Nuh-uh, God did it," if this isn't your first Skeptic video, hit the like, the subscribe and the bell to get more videos like this in your suggested feed. And a super thanks to those that hit super thanks in some recent videos. Woden Toad 1, Melida, Will, Newport Ball 31, Rosina, Lark Latroy, and Anthony Barcelos 2206. Lisa the Rainbow Giraffe bestows leaves upon you all. More hen. Right, time to hand over to the biggest whacker there is.
Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama. What is it? August the 2nd, 2023. Whack an atheist night. Forrest, you get it again. I saw a video that he did. I said, this guy's going to need to be whacked several times for me to get his attention.
Wait, you want his attention? Does someone have a little crush on Forrest? Oh, I'm not sure you're his type. I've met Forrest's wife and she is lovely. And the exact opposite of Kent.
Forrest, I'll debate you anytime. Bring it on. Okay, anytime.
That's actually a debate I'd love to watch, because Kent knows zero and has no proof of his God, and Forrest has actual knowledge and facts about stuff. The trouble is, with Kent's debates, he only wants to be on Standing for Truth, which is the only debate platform heavily biased towards theism. It's supposed to be impartial.
So tonight, Forrest Valkai says he's a biology teacher and teaches the dumb religion of evolution mixed in with his real good biology. Okay.
Well, it's not often I agree with Kenty, but he said something I cannot ignore. Dumb religion. I'd be interested in knowing why he thinks that evolution is a religion, you know, like believing in things without evidence or proof, just as religion does. Wouldn't that make all religion dumb? Never mind the fact that there's so much supporting evidence for evolution, that to deny it is more ridiculous than Kent's collection of flamboyant shirts.
Whack an Atheist Wednesday. It's a fun game here we play at Dinosaur Adventureland. It's based on the whack-a-mole game. When an atheist sticks his head up, you whack him back down. When they say something that is not true scientifically.
Why is Bill Nye on there twice? Couldn't think of any other atheists. And is there another version of this game in Dino Adventureland called Whack-a-Wife? We know how you roll, Convict Hovind. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have gone down that route. I apologise. And not true scientifically. You can say that, Kent, but you'd just be wrong. If it can be demonstrated with scientific means over and over, it's pretty fair to say that it's the best explanation there is for a thing.
Never let a creationist teach evolution. I'd say never let an evolutionist teach science, Forrest.
I agree. Don't let evolutionists teach science. But only because evolutionists don't really exist. What even is that word?
Forrest did a video where he pretends like he's calling God, complaining about how the human body is made. It's only 3 minutes long. I watched it. I don't know if it's going to take me 10 hours to undo all the damage he did in 3 minutes. But let me just try here. Forrest, let's see. Right here. Okay.
Yeah, it might take 10 hours because Kenty struggles to use a computer.
I'll play as much as I can stomach and then hit pause and answer some of the dumb stuff he says on here. Go ahead.
Hello there.
Hey, is the big man in?
Forrest Valkai? No.
Oh, it's fine. You'll do. Hey, I have a couple of questions that I need to ask you. See, I'm a biologist and I study humans, and there's a few things about us that just don't make any sense.
Wait, how did you get this number?
Well, I guess for starters, what's going on with our wisdom teeth? because every other species of great ape has a third set of molars with no problem. But you made our jaws so small that they don't fit properly. So when they come in, they either cause crowding in the other teeth, which leads to unnecessary decay, or they get impacted and cause serious abscesses, which are excruciatingly painful, or even lead to death.
Whoa. Slow down there, buddy.
I want to stop you right there, because while we're on the topic of teeth, why do I only get 2 sets? Because there are some animals that never stop growing them, and there are some animals that never stop making them. Why do I have to pay for fillings when sharks are out here dropping teeth like loose change?
Have you tried brushing your shark's teeth?
Why did you make our testicles hang outside of our bodies?
Father, will you please take the call?
Now, I know Kent hasn't said anything yet, but I'd just like to point out this comment from Standing for Truth, which just so happens to be the one place that actually hosts debates for Kent. I don't think either of these two creators are terrified to debate. They more than likely don't care to debate someone that constantly calls folks stupid and says it was their god, with no actual proof for the man in the sky. Anyway, back to Forrest's funny skit.
Whales and hippos keep theirs inside their bodies. It's more streamlined. It's safer. Ours are so vulnerable on the outside. And what? It's because of thermoregulation? Just make sperm more stable, dude. What's up with that? Oh, and another thing. What contest did squids win to get the cool eyes? Because you put our optic nerve right in the back of our retina, which means there's a giant blind spot in our vision that our brains just have to ignore. Plus, the images that come in through our lenses are flipped upside down, and then they have to cross over the optic chiasm, and our brains have to do like 15 layers of interpreting just to be able to see things. Like, there's no way you couldn't have just invented an HDMI cable.
Yeah, I'll tell you where to stick the cable.
I'll be honest with you, dude. I am mad jealous of other animals. Butterflies can taste with their feet. Why can't I do that? That would be radical. Whose idea was it to put the eating tube and the breathing tube?
Okay, enough for now. That's only, 2 minutes of his 3-minute video, and it's going to take me several hours to unwrap the dumb stuff, that he just said.
Thank goodness for this voice changer. I couldn't put up with Kent saying evolution is a dumb religion. My undemonstrated Sky Daddy actually did it in a normal voice. Just you wait.
So let's go to right here, and start with the teeth. Since he claims to be a biologist and doesn't even understand teeth, let me explain it to you, Forrest, in simple terms. Maybe you'll get it. Don't wisdom teeth prove evolution? Really? An impacted lower wisdom tooth. How many of you have had your wisdom teeth removed? Okay, there you go. I'm sorry, too crowded. I can't come in, so it crowds all the teeth. Okay. Did you know 95% of the population have wisdom teeth? Let's see. 90% of the people will develop at least one impacted wisdom tooth. Oh, okay.
Wait a minute. Is Kent's whole way of refuting Forrest to just give facts about wisdom teeth that any one of us could look up? He's missing the point, which was if a god created humans and everything on Earth, why did it let the other great apes' mouths fit those third molars? Why did the god, which created us in its image, make our jaws too small for all the teeths? If we are in the image of God, who is God's dentist? If it was real, I would hope that MFer also had chronic mouth pain due to overcrowding with wisdom teeth that shouldn't be there.
You're right. Wisdom teeth cause problems in some parts of the world. Most people who live in Canada or the United States end up with a recommendation to have their wisdom teeth removed. Most people who live in Europe end up with a recommendation not to have their wisdom teeth removed. Well, what's the deal here?
The deal is, why would a god create a mouth that needed to have teeth removed, or even give humans those teeth in the first place? Could it just be that those teeth are an artifact that remains in us, left over from our ape-like ancestors from hundreds of thousands of years ago?
Many people don't have wisdom teeth. Indigenous Mexican people have a 100% rate of not even having wisdom teeth. Okay.
So the god created indigenous Mexicans in a slightly different image to you, Kent. Got it. Or, like tuskless elephants. Maybe those people that didn't have wisdom teeth passed on their wisdom toothless genes. It's not difficult, Kent.
Wisdom teeth come in the age of 17 to 25. By the way, it has nothing to do with getting wisdom, because people that age still may not have wisdom. They may have the teeth, but not the wisdom. Okay.
Speaking from experience there, are we, Kent? Jeez, I'm sorry. It's so difficult not to be mean to this absolute whacker.
Well, into your 20s. Now, let's see. Africans have bigger teeth and thicker enamel. Southern Chinese people were found to have the largest teeth overall. Ah, okay. What culture has black teeth? The Japanese culture have a custom of dyeing teeth black, commonly attributed to Japan, although it existed in Japanese culture for centuries. It was the Edo period, back in the 1600s, that black teeth became a symbol of beauty and marked a woman's marital status. I would say go brush them, honey. Okay.
How is this remotely explaining why a god would make small mouths that can't hold teeth? Get to the point.
People have different ideas of what beauty is. Okay? Let's see. Apes rarely have impacted wisdom teeth. The same holds true for humans who eat non-industrialized diets. Our jaws evolved to expect biomechanical stimulation from a diet, say nuts, uncooked veggies, and raw meats. These days, we tend to feed our jaws soft, processed foods. So could it be the wisdom teeth is a problem because of our diet?
A diet which God knew that we'd eat, and still would make our mouths too small to hold the teeth. And why didn't you pick up on that, Evolved? Has Kent suddenly become that which he despises?
Because some cultures don't have a problem with wisdom teeth, okay? Our early ancestors, let's see, why didn't evolution get rid of wisdom teeth? Our early ancestors needed wisdom teeth. In our caveman days, we didn't have forks and knives to cut up our food, and we couldn't even cook meat. Because early humans needed to chew coarse, hearty foods, they required a broader jaw. Wisdom teeth grew in to give them more chewing power. You gotta give evolution credit. Well, let me explain it to you, Forrest, okay? The Bible says Adam was 130 when his son was born. He was 105. Let's see, 90, 70, 65, 162. Everybody before the flood waited a long time to even have children. People before the flood developed slower. They didn't even get married to have kids till they're around 60. They were much bigger also. So having that last molar come in, the wisdom tooth, at about age 20 was perfect. Do some people get 3 sets of teeth? There have been numerous examples of people, their teeth, just like you grew your teeth in when you're a kid, second set, they grow a 3rd set. So, why don't we have a 3rd set of teeth? We do not have a stem cell that allows us to regrow our adult teeth. Scientists are researching ways of regrowing teeth. Okay.
Hold on, why is that science okay? And how does reading all this explain why a god up so bad when it came to something as important as a human mouth? Maybe it's because the god doesn't exist, and this is actually the result of evolutionary changes.
Rodents' teeth grow all their lives. Reptiles and sharks' teeth are replaced constantly. Here is a real shark's jaw, okay? And if you look inside, it has waiting to pop up. As soon as this tooth breaks off, another one will pop up and take its place. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, I can't count them there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows of teeth waiting to pop up to replace the ones they lose. Cool idea. And sharks never stop growing. And we got some big shark's teeth in our museum, too. Come see Dinosaur Adventureland. Okay. Crocodile replaces its teeth 40 times in a lifetime. Well, man was probably larger in the past. See my creation seminar part 2. They lived longer and probably got bigger. They find skeletons of humans that are huge by today's standards.
Well, even if that was true, which there's nothing to suggest it was, it would still demonstrate evolution, and that slowly over time changes occur. Kent messed up there.
And the extra teeth were designed to come in at the right time for growing. Do we sell that book, Buried Alive, in our bookstore? It's a great one by Jack Coazzo. He's a dentist from, I forget where. Anyway, the face bones, human face bones never stop growing. You have muscles that attach to your eyebrow ridge, okay? You have the masseter muscle, the frontalis muscle, all the muscles of the face. As you chew, those muscles are pulling on the bone. Any bodybuilder will tell you, like me, the more you work a muscle, the more it pulls on the bone. See, bodybuilders not only get bigger muscles, they get denser bones from the stress of the muscle pulling on it.
Very good, Kent. You found some science that explains things, and yet you still haven't explained why a god would mess up wisdom teeth so badly. And I don't think that skull is from an individual over 200 years old. It looks more like a Neanderthal skull. Not that I know what I'm talking about.
So if a person can live to be 200 or 300 or 400 years old, they get big eyebrow ridges.
Oh, and everyone knows that wisdom teeth live in eyebrow ridges, you bloody idiot.
You could probably see people before the flood. If you look at my chart, you could walk up to somebody and say, oh, let's see, how old are you, Canaan or Enos? I'm going to guess you're about 300 based on your eyebrow ridge. Isn't it possible today to kind of guess somebody's age by looking at them?
Yeah, sure. I'd say, given your lack of definition in your eyebrows, that you were about 2 or 3 years old, Kenty, which would explain the tantrums you throw when things don't go your way.
Now, you don't always get it right, but it's okay. So I'm saying, let's see, probably indicates a guy over 200 years old. These big brow ridges, not Neanderthals, not subhuman.
Or, you know, it is just a different species of hominid.
To look at people today having a wisdom tooth and to claim God made a poor design is stupid. You don't understand why it's a wisdom problem today. If God's original design was for man to mature slowly and enjoy being a kid for 50 years and then finally get married and settle down, I mean, they waited till they're 80, 90 to look for a wife and a house near grade school. Then they would grow bigger and getting wisdom teeth at age 20 and maybe a complete new set of teeth every 100 years after that. Maybe that was all designed.
That doesn't even remotely explain the issue now, though. The fact is, people don't mature slowly and start adulthood at 50. The problem is happening. Putting up with wisdom teeth pain until your jaw grows to the right size 80 years after the problem started is absolutely ridiculous. If it was a god that designed it to be that way, that god is an idiot. Or, you know, it actually is just something that we haven't fully lost yet through evolution. You know who wouldn't have given us wisdom teeth if she actually was the creator of all? Lisa the rainbow giraffe, leaf be upon her. Wisdom teeth and exterior testicles would have been the first things to go when she pooped life into existence all those billions of years ago.
When you turn 100, your teeth fall out and you grow new ones, because these are getting worn out. Could it be? God designed, but that doesn't happen too often today because people don't live long enough to let it happen.
Well, no, some folks do live to 100 and beyond, and how many of those folks have reported new sets of teeth coming in? I'll tell you, Kenty, 0.
God saw everything he made and it was very good. Before the flood, people lived to be 900 and they were 130 when they got married.
And if you believe that, then there's no helping you, you gullible old git. How do you know that these ages are true? You have to accept that the Bible is true for that. But the Bible hasn't been demonstrated to be the word of a God. You just believe it is. And that's very different. I can just hear him now saying, but the Bible says it's true.
Well, Adam wasn't, but the rest of them 105 and had kids, 190 years old. Let's see. Some of the willingly ignorant scoffers like Forrest deny that God made man, like he claimed he did, because they don't understand the original creation. And instead they teach others that all teeth of all animals evolved from a rock for no reason, with no designer.
But, Kent, even if those original humans were real, how comes it's not the case today? How come humans are so very different from the first? Could it be evolution?
Forrest, you can't understand wisdom teeth, but you think teeth came from an amoeba, which don't have any teeth, which came from a rock, which had water on it, the primordial soup, which all came from a dot of nothing.
A dot of nothing is still something, so checkmate, Kent, I guess.
Here's your Big Bang Theory. Nothing exploded and made everything, including people with teeth.
Nope. That's what you think people who accept Big Bang Theory think. But you've been told countless times exactly what science suggests, and you still don't get it. Maybe if you had bigger eyebrow ridges, you'd have the cranial capacity to understand.
Did the universe start smaller than an atom? Time, space, and matter all began with the Big Bang in a fraction of a second. The universe grew from smaller than a single atom to bigger than a galaxy. Now, Forrest, were all the teeth in that dot smaller than a period? All the teeth all the humans have ever had. They were, well, at least the makings of it, okay?
By Jove, I think he actually just got it.
What size was the universe when it began? Let's see. Roughly the size of a human being. Well, that's bigger than a dot, but still, that's a lot of stuff to put in that package, okay? How did the universe begin? The Big Bang was the moment 13.8 billion years ago when the universe began as a tiny, dense fireball that exploded.
Hang on, how is this refuting anything that Forrest said? There was so much about other poor things that a god did when it came to designing stuff. Now he's going on this rock rant, which is possibly the dumbest argument ever. I'm going to skip ahead to the other points Forrest made, and Kent attempts to say how stupid it is with no reason as to why.
All the many forms of life on Earth today are descended from a common ancestor. Do you believe that, Forrest? Do you believe you have an ancestor that was an amoeba or a protozoa of some kind? Found in a population of primitive unicellular organisms. I know there's a couple hundred different kinds of unicellular organisms. Pick which one you want. Which one did you come from? Amoeba, protozoa, bacteria? No traces of those events remain. Okay, that's handy. Let's see. So, boys and girls, because some people today have problems with wisdom teeth, that proves you are related to birds and butterflies and frogs and sunflowers and worms, which have no teeth at all. Isn't it amazing what evolution can do if you can just imagine?
Well, no, it makes sense. My parents didn't have problems with their wisdom teeth, so the chances are I won't either. My wife does have problems with her wisdom teeth, and so there's a chance our baby floating circle could have problems with his. But it all depends on whether he inherits my wisdom teeth genes or Mrs. Skeptic's teeth genes. And that is evolution at work.
Why do the testicles hang outside the body? This has been pretty well studied. Though you said whales don't have dolphins, they live in the water. They don't need to have a thermal regulation. See, the testicles are sperm is a few degrees below body temperature by hanging outside, and then once it's injected into the nice warm vagina, it picks up energy and says, wow, now they have energy to swim a few inches to get up to form another baby.
Hearing Kent saying vagina makes me want to gag. And he's missing the point again. Why didn't the god just make sperm able to survive at different temperatures? Stop explaining what we already know and prove that your god was the one that designed this terrible body part.
This has nothing to do with evolving. It's a really good design. Tell you what, if you don't like it, cut yours off, okay?
Wow. Kent goes from mildly annoying to downright disgusting. Hey, we can all act like absolute Kent. Maybe you should have taken yours off before procreating. That way, you wouldn't have a son that can't do basic maths.
16 times 2? 34.
What about the eye of the squid? Now, here's a good one. Did the eye evolve? Let me get to the right slide here. This is seminar part 4, lies in the textbooks. Forrest, you should have watched this. You wouldn't make a fool of yourself. I covered this 25 years ago. Did the human eye, is this evidence for evolution? Bible says, he that formed the eye shall he not see. God's claiming he did it.
And how can you demonstrate that the God did it? At the moment, you have a claim, and you can't use the Bible to demonstrate the claim, as that's circular reasoning, and I'm the only circle worth any salt around here.
So what about the different eyes? The eye of the squid you mentioned, or the octopus. They've got an amazing eye. You're right. Okay, I'll talk about that in a minute. Several different types of eyes. Okay, this one gives evidence for evolution. The scars of evolution. Let's see. The vertebrate eye, far from being intelligently designed, contains numerous defects that attest to its evolutionary origin. So because you think there's defects in the eye, therefore, nobody designed it. This is the argument they're making, okay?
Well, it sounds like you agree that there are defects. So now you agree that it's poorly designed, and if it's poorly designed, then maybe this creator isn't actually worth following. Because if it exists, it quite often gets things wrong.
Let's see, before the light can hit the light-sensitive cells, it has to go through the blood vessels. Oh, wow. Look at this. Complex eye structure evolved independently in several groups. So the vertebrate eye is different than the arthropod, which is different than the mollusks. I agree, okay? There are simple eyes, compound eyes, and simple corneal eyes, okay? I understand. Darwin was confused about the eye, and Darwin said in his book on page 217, to suppose that the eye could have been formed by natural selection seems, I freely confess, absurd. He went on to say, I believe it anyway.
Oh no, let me guess. A creationist taking a Darwin quote wildly out of context. This quote just makes it seem like Darwin is as shocked as anyone else that actually it makes sense that beneficial eye traits are inherited by the possessor's offspring. And he reaches that conclusion thanks to his own reason. And because I respect you, dear viewer, I won't subject you to any more Kent, even though this high-pitched voice of his is hilarious. If you want to watch the original video, I've put it in the description. But let me warn you, it's very much more of the same, trying to point out absurdities, but actually just showing that evolution is the best explanation, and not a designer who did a very, very, very poor job. Perhaps, though, you disagree and think Forrest just got it wrong, and Kent's explanation is right. Let me know in the section below. I'm going to skeptic this as another whacking evaded. A big thank you to this month's top-level ticks on Patreon: Godless Granny, Addy Rockart, The Enixes, Jakari, Whiskey Tech Fred, and the Absolute Lunatic Travis, as well as all the $3 base ticks. You can become a supporter on Patreon too at patreon.com/theskeptic. The link is in the description, along with links to all my other socials. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. From me, the Skeptic, stay safe, keep thinking logically, and ask questions. Skepticism is the first step towards truth. See you next Saturday.